found you guilty of manslaughter. The testimony leaves no doubt that you administered the drug overdose which ended the life of a patient. True, he was hopelessly ill and in great pain. And your action is what is commonly called a mercy killing. But the law is explicit. Thou shalt not kill. And with that paramount fact in mind, this court is obliged to sentence you to a term of 5 years imprisonment. However, in view of your hitherto spotless character and the humane motive which prompted the crime, sentence is suspended on condition that you never again practice medicine or surgery in Canada.
Don't you think it's too soon to take off the bandage? You know, I was hit pretty hard. I'm still feverish from the pain. Oh, oh hi, Pop. Look, Miss Vernon just took off my bandages.
Perhaps removal of bandage was premature since you are still in pain.
Who, me? Nah, I never felt better. Well, that is... Oh...
Deeply regret number one son's slow recovery from wounded head. Or perhaps... wounded heart?
Both wounds are quite superficial, Mr. Chan.
Next time I am subduing criminal would suggest you refrain from placing head under blackjack.
Hello, Mr. Chan.
Oh, Mr. Winstead.
When am I going to get out of here, Dr. Winstead?
Very difficult for number one son to get through much dented skull. In England, surgeons are called Mr.
Well, Mr. Winstead just doesn't seem like a sawbones. You sure you are a sawbones, Doc?
Would you like me to get hold of a scalpel and prove it to you, young fellow?
I'm afraid he is beyond hope, but I leave him to your tender mercies.
What's your hurry, Pop? You just got here.
Mr. Morley has asked me to stop in his office. Would be very impolite to keep a man of his importance waiting.
Come in.
Oh, good of you to come, Mr. Chan. You've met Sir Edward Pomeroy, chairman of our board of directors.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Chan.
Thank you.
I hope you haven't got a stomach ache, because old Morley here will be trying to take your gizzard out. And what's more, he'll do it, too, before you even know it.
Oh, no. Like small boy encountering vicious dragon, I shall be very careful.
We laymen have to watch these experts. You know, every time my digestion plays me up, he insists I should be operated on. Well, goodbye, Mr. Chan. Hold on tight to your gallbladder.
Yes, I may be getting old, but I still know when a man needs surgery. Well, now, Mr. Chan, I expect you're wondering why I phoned you.
Hi, Dr. Morley. I mean, Mr. Morley. Well, have I missed anything?
Oh, really, the matter I wish to discuss with your father is confidential.
Oh, that's all right. Pop talks over everything with me.
My uncomplimentary son is very trustworthy.
Thanks, Pop.
Well, confound it. Michael Winstead is one of the finest surgeons I've ever known. He's absolutely invaluable to us here. There's no doubt about it. He'll replace me when I'm forced to retire. I can't believe he's a murderer.
Murderer? Dr. Winstead?
Yes, I was as shocked as you are when I got this letter yesterday. I've no idea who wrote it, Mr. Chan.
Dear Morley, take the mustache off in close picture, and maybe you will feel less friendly to the man who calls himself Michael Winstead.
By the way, there's a newspaper cutting in that envelope, too. From the Ottawa Star back in 1947.
Dr. Liggett convicted of mercy killing.
Holy smokes. It does look like Dr. Winstead. Even with the mustache.
Slight resemblance, but many men look alike.
Yes, those are my feelings precisely. But if it is true, I can't expose my patients to mercy killers.
Police would be very willing to investigate.
Oh, no. No, even if he were innocent, the notoriety would ruin him. But a private investigation by a clever detective like yourself.
Compliment to unworthy self most gratifying. But unlike postman who takes walk on vacation, I am retired policeman eager for inactivity.
Even though Winstead's your friend.
Not only that, but he saved your life 2 years ago when he dug that bullet out of you. Remember?
Remember only too well. Tell me, suppose he is proven Dr. Liggett, you would be obliged to dismiss him?
Oh, for the sake of the hospital, yes, but surely you will be able to clear him.
We'll do humble best.
Now you're talking, Pop. Where do we start?
First of all, we will discover who sent letter, then demand either proof or retraction. We may also discover who in this hospital is endeavoring to ruin Dr. Winstead's career.
Who in this hospital?
As I suspected, same watermark.
We buy these pads in quantity. The whole hospital has access to them. In point of fact, you can buy them anywhere in London. You can't prove that letter came from here.
Can try. Tell me, are you the only one who has read this letter?
Yes, the only one.
Good. Since I have only touched the edges, it will reveal but 2 sets of fingerprints, yours and the sender's.
Wait, if you're thinking of going to Scotland Yard.
Scotland Yard? I got my fingerprint outfit. You leave it to me.
Miss Vernon.
Oh, hello, Mr. Chan. I had those reports you wanted, Mr. Morley.
I will be with you as soon as possible, Mr. Morley. Good day, Miss Vernon.
Do you think she could have heard everything, Pop?
Would be most unfortunate if she did.
Really, Mr. Chan, couldn't you dissuade him from making this a habit? Even the hardest skull can be softened eventually.
He is very difficult to convince. Insists on proving he can, like they say in America, take it.
If I can find a guy who hit me, why, I'll prove I can dish it out, too.
You had no idea who he was.
I'm not even sure it was a he.
Well, don't look at me. I was dining with Michael last night. And we were till midnight saying goodnight.
Well, I guess that lets them out, huh, Pop?
No, not necessarily. Mutual alibi like cracked teacup does not always hold water. Either one of them might steal the evidence that he was Dr. Liggett of Ottawa. Of course, if he was.
Wouldn't that be kind of stupid, though? After we already seen the letter. I figure whoever wrote it must have stolen it so I couldn't trace the fingerprints.
You make very good improvement. But now I must discover who had knowledge you were examining letter for fingerprinting. Mr. Morley? Miss Vernon, perhaps. And the man she would tell it to. Shall investigate.
Well, if the letter's gone, we shall never know who wrote it. Frankly, I'm only interested in Winstead. Is he Liggett or isn't he?
Like expert surgeon, Mr. Morley, you go directly to heart of problem. I shall do likewise. I have permission to make transatlantic call, please?
Why, yes, of course. Go ahead.
Thank you. Operator, I would like to place prepaid call to Chief of Police, Ottawa, Canada.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean to intrude.
Sir Edward. Yes, I will wait.
I say, Ottawa, old boy. At our expense.
Yes, hospital business.
Oh, I see. I wonder if you would fix me a little something from the dispensary. I seem to have had too heavy a breakfast.
Yes, of course.
Now then, what's all this business about Chan calling up Ottawa?
I'd rather not go into it now, Sir Edward. After all, it is my job to protect Mr. Winstead if I can.
Winstead, eh? All right, Morley, let's have it.
You will give full cooperation. You are very kind. Thank you. First plane to Ottawa. Thank you again.
Believe me, Sir Edward, my only thoughts are for the hospital.
Hospital, indeed. You're supposed to be Winstead's friend. Yet you seem to want him disgraced. Why? So that he won't get your job? What's your opinion of this, Mr. Chan?
Well, he thinks as I do that the charges are false, but is there any harm in trying to prove it?
Well, you may have a point there. But just how are you going to set about it?
Well, Sir Edward, my first endeavors met with unfortunate obstacle. Next move will be by aeroplane, which will carry number one son to Ottawa. You will excuse, please, while I inform him of journey?
You're sending him overseas?
After what happened last night, I am sure he will be safer in Ottawa than in London.
Ottawa last night, London today. Not bad, huh?
Oh, you did very excellently. Airplane also did good, huh?
Miss Gerald, this is my father. Pop, this is Miss Ann Gerald.
You are most kind to come so far on such short notice. Has number one son explained reason for visit?
Yes, I understand.
Good. Then I suggest we go immediately to hospital. Oh, please remember, a man's future depends upon what you say.
Now, there you are, Winstead. Elizabeth, my dear. I wonder if you'd mind dropping in on Morley with me. I believe there's someone he'd like you to meet. From Ottawa. You're a lucky man, Winstead. Not everyone has a girl like Elizabeth to pick up the pieces for him. I should wipe off the lipstick, old boy. Morley's a bit stuffy when he gets something important stuck in his craw.
Important? About me?
He thinks so. In my opinion, the whole thing's preposterous. But it does have to be faced.
What is it, Michael? What must be faced?
That's all right, darling. There's nothing to worry about.
But you're worried, I can tell. I'm coming with you.
Elizabeth.
Please.
He is a lucky fellow.
My humble apologies for being involved. But Mr. Morley prevailed upon me to investigate a matter concerning yourself. I agreed only in the hope that my inquiry would prove you innocent.
Innocent of what? What have you accused him of?
I didn't accuse him of anything. I merely received the letter. I didn't write it.
A letter was sent by unknown person to Mr. Morley. In the letter, it was suggested that you, Mr. Winstead, are in reality Dr. Paul Liggett, convicted of a euthanasia murder many years ago in Ottawa.
Euthanasia murder? Michael.
Of course, we didn't believe it, but it did have to be settled. So, Mr. Chan has asked somebody to come to London who can clear up the whole affair.
Yes, a Miss Ann Gerald, who was victim's private nurse. She knew Dr. Liggett very well. Miss Gerald, would you be so kind as to tell us whether or not you have ever seen Mr. Winstead before this moment?
Well, Miss Gerald?
I've never seen this man before.
You're quite sure he isn't Liggett?
Quite sure.
I'm glad, Winstead, very glad. But you do realize I had to be fair to the hospital.
I told you it was all nonsense.
Oh, Michael, I knew it would be all right. You couldn't have been guilty of a mercy killing.
No, I was never guilty of that. But I was convicted for it.
What's that? What the devil do you mean?
I mean that I am Paul Liggett.
No, Paul, no.
No use trying to shield me, Anne. Mr. Morley is right. It would be unfair to the hospital to continue this masquerade. I shall leave at once.
But if you say you were innocent?
The jury wouldn't believe me. How could I expect you to?
May I go now, Mr. Chan?
My hotel is close by. Suggest you rest there while I arrange your return passage to Canada. Please, sit down. May I order some lunch for you from room service?
Thank you, no, Mr. Chan. I'm not at all hungry.
I understand completely. My own appetite is often affected when I suffer uneasy feelings of guilt, as now.
Why should you feel guilty?
For having brought you here. Mr. Winstead was a friend, also my son's doctor. Had I known he was Dr. Paul Liggett, but a wrongfully convicted Paul Liggett, I would have tried to spare him.
I tried to spare him.
Yes, and I am puzzled why. What, did you also think he was wrongfully convicted?
I just thought he'd suffered enough for what he did.
If he did it. But sometimes when a person lies dying in hospital, there are many other people besides doctor who could administer a drug that would ease their pain forever. Do you agree?
I don't know. Please, Mr. Chan, I'm very tired.
Of course, my humble apologies. I'm afraid my thoughts were dwelling too much upon the man whose downfall we have just brought about. But maybe my pity should be reserved for the man or woman whose heart bears the burden of this terrible injustice, which could still be made right by confession. Good day, Miss Gerald.
I was afraid you might have already gone. Please, Paul, don't stare at me like that. Help me.
As you helped me at the trial.
I was afraid to come forward then. Afraid of what they'd do to me.
But not afraid of what they might do to me.
Paul, I never thought you'd be convicted. I thought they'd clear you and the case would be closed. I never really intended that you should pay for a crime that I committed. It was a crime.
It was. And I paid. I'm still paying.
Why couldn't you have loved me as you do her?
Was it because I didn't that you let my life be ruined? Well, you made a good job of it. What did you come back for, to gloat?
No, Paul. No. I'd do anything to undo it. I'll tell the truth if it'll help.
The truth after all these years? I'm afraid it's a bit late for that, Anne.
Not too late. I can't make up to you for the years, but I can still clear you. I'll make a full confession to the police.
Oh, wait. Do you mean that? I'll get Charlie Chan. He's somewhere in the building. He'll know what's best.
Chan!
Mr. Chan, I've been looking for you everywhere. It's about Anne Gerald.
She has confessed?
Now, how did you know?
Like broken Ming vase, Mr. Winstead, uneasy conscience, very difficult to mend. Where is she?
In my room.
Must obtain signed statement. Barry, you will hasten procure necessary quota of witnesses, preferably Mr. Morley and Sir Edward.
Right away.
Michael, I was just coming to talk to you. I won't let you go away without me.
It's all right, darling. I'm not going away. Anne Gerald has confessed that she did the mercy killing.
Oh, Michael.
Apologies, but speed is very necessary in getting confession properly witnessed.
Where is she? She was here a minute ago.
She's still here.
She's been stabbed.
Still breathing.
Get my kit from over there, will you?
I just found the scalpel on the floor. Do you suppose it's...
Undoubtedly, a weapon. Unfortunately, now has your fingerprints also.
You mean I might be suspected?
One might think you had motive. Also, I just met you in the hallway, remember? Operator, please put me through to Inspector Duff, Scotland Yard.
Hurry with that kit, will you? All right, Anne. Take care of it.
Inspector Duff? This is Charlie Chan. Can you come immediately to Mercy Hospital?
Will she be all right?
I don't know. Yet.
Thank you. Thank you, Inspector. We'll expect you at once.
Pop, will this nurse do us a witness? I couldn't get the other people you wanted because they just...
Most fortunate substitution. You will be very useful. Please go inside quickly. You were unable to locate Mr. Morley or Sir Edward?
Well, that's what I started to tell you. Sir Edward just keeled over in Morley's office. Trouble in here. Morley's going to operate. Well, what is it, Pop? Something wrong?
No time to explain. Wait inside for Inspector Duff. Permit nobody to leave. Understand?
No. But I'll do whatever you say, Pop.
Good. It is most necessary, Sir Edward, I talk to you.
No. Not now. Morley was quite right. It's acute ileitis. He's getting ready for surgery.
It is a matter of life or death. Yours if Morley operates on him.
What?
He has already been suspected of one attempted murder. Miss Gerald was stabbed after telling Winstead she would clear him of the Ottawa mercy slaying. Someone did not wish her to talk.
Surely not old Morley.
He had very good motive. He was afraid Winstead would replace him as chief surgeon.
You're not saying he sent himself the anonymous letter?
He might. He also might steal it to prevent it being traced back to him. If he is capable of stabbing Miss Gerald, he is also capable of killing you to prevent you from retiring him. Should he operate, one slip of the knife could cause your death.
You're mad. Morley wouldn't do any of those things. I know he didn't. Now leave me alone.
Exceedingly regret, Sir Edward, you do not believe me. Good day. My instructions were for you to wait in room for Inspector Duff.
Well, he's in there now. He sent me to tell you. Miss Gerald is dead, Pop.
Oh, too bad. Tell me, did she regain consciousness sufficient to speak?
Only long enough to clear Winstead, but she didn't know who stabbed her.
Then only one chance left to unmask the killer. But first I must get permission from Inspector Duff.
Where's Morley?
Your surgeon is in there. He is making final check on medical record.
Morley will pull me through. Won't you, Morley? I'll see that you keep your job forever.
Your patient is ready.
Winstead! No! Not you! I want Morley. Don't let him touch me.
I'm a competent surgeon. Why are you afraid of me?
Because
I will tell you why, because, Sir Edward. Because it was you who wrote an anonymous letter. It was you who wanted to ruin Winstead. It was you who stabbed Anne Gerald, thinking he would pay for your crime.
No, it's not true.
And you have nothing to fear from him.
All right. Take him to the operating room.
Please, don't let Winstead kill me. All right, I did it. I did it for Lisbeth's sake, because I loved her. I wanted him out of her life. Don't let him touch me. Don't let him touch me.
You have all heard confession?
Gee, Pop, how did you know it was Sir Edward?
When I pretended to suspect Mr. Morley, he was still willing to trust his life to it. And that was because you knew he was innocent and you were guilty. However, you shall still have your wish. Mr. Morley will perform operation. He will save your life for the hangman.
Know something, Pop? You should change your name from Charlie Chan to Charlie Cupid.
Love is very beautiful, huh?